Hi, my name is Gilberto Rosco Jr., and today we will be going over the Assemblies of God history, missions, and governance. Pentecostal Prelude. The Assemblies of God, also known as AG, roots lie in the early 20th century Pentecostal movement, emphasizing spirit baptism and gifts like speaking in tongues. Pentecostalism values include orthodoxy, correct belief, orthopraxy, correct practice, and orthopathy, correct heart and emotion. This foundation shapes the Assemblies of God's mission to empower believers for spirit-led ministry and transformation. Early Assemblies of God history, founded in 1914, the AG grew rapidly through evangelism and missionary zeal. Early missionaries like Lillian Trasher, and Anna Zies modeled faithfulness amid hardship. The Assemblies of God emphasize indigenous church planting, allowing churches to thrive culturally and spiritually within their communities. The movement overcame early racial and cultural barriers, which were later formally addressed. For example, the ordination of African Americans in 1962. The Assemblies of God today. The Assemblies of God is one of the largest Pentecostal denominations worldwide, with over 69 million adherents. AG churches today are diverse and spirit-empowered communities focused on prayer, worship, discipleship, and mission. They aim to transform universities, marketplaces, and global communities through spirit-filled believers. They challenge Some of the challenges include engaging younger generations and adapting mission strategies in fast-changing culture. Missions theology. Missions is rooted in God's global plan to reconcile the world through Christ. The Assemblies of God embraces spirit-empowered, going beyond preaching to holistic transformation, including orthodoxy, orthopraxy, and orthopathy. Gen Z is identified as a cause-oriented generation seeking meaningful impact, which shapes missions approach. Practical missions and Assemblies of God missions. Mission organizations like Chi Alpha and BGMC equip missionaries with resources and prayer support. Live Dead plants churches among unreached groups by partnering with indigenous believers, avoiding cultural imposition. The Assemblies of God Worldwide Missions, also known as AGWM, focuses on enabling indigenous churches rather than exporting American culture. Heroes of the Assemblies of God Missions. Mentioned earlier, Lillian Trasher, also known as a lady on a donkey, founded orphanages in Egypt despite lacking initial support, showing tenacity and faith. Anna Aziz stayed in mainland China through political turmoil, living humbly without Western comforts. The ordination of the first African American woman in the Assemblies of God marked a significant breakthrough against racial barriers. And it's important to note that these pioneers modeled courage, faithfulness, and a heart to serve despite challenges. Their stories inspire contemporary leaders to carry the legacy of spirit-filled missions. Assemblies of God church structure. The AG consists of two classifications of churches: General Council affiliated, also known as autonomous, and district affiliated churches, meaning developing toward autonomy. There are three basic church governance models: Episcopal, Presbyterian, and Congregational. The Assemblies of God combines elements of Congregational and Presbyterian polity. District councils provide regional oversight and leadership support to local churches, facilitating accountability and cooperation. The Assemblies of God's core theological identity is Protestant, evangelical, Pentecostal, and Trinitarian, which shapes both worship and governance. Pastors lead locally but work closely with boards and districts to ensure healthy governance, unity, and vision alignment. Boards and bylaws. The pastor is God's gift to the church. The board members are the church's gift to the pastor, providing counsel and support. Healthy churches build strong boards that address issues transparently and foster unity. Ignoring conflict allows problems to grow. Boards include deacons and trustees serving practical and spiritual roles like managing property and financial stewardship. Leading oneself well with humility and courage is essential for church leaders stewarding God's inheritance. Cooperation between ethnic and language districts and geographic districts promotes fellowship and effective ministry. Pastors' practical tips. Stewardship includes managing time, people, money, buildings, and equipment. Time is the most precious and challenging resource. Leadership is about influencing purpose and people. Management handles functional details like budget and facilities. Both are necessary. Clarity in job descriptions and accountability empower staff and volunteers to serve well without micromanagement. Burnout is real and dangerous. Guarding your heart, setting boundaries, and seeking grace are vital for sustainable ministry. The church must clearly communicate its mission and purpose so all members understand why it exists. In summary, the Assemblies of God began as a spirit-empowered Pentecostal movement focused on holiness and evangelism. Today, it is a global fellowship committed to spirit-filled worship and reaching the unreached. Missions emphasize cultural respect, local partnership, and engaging new generations like Gen Z. Assemblies of God mission heroes exemplify faithfulness and culturally sensitive ministry. Church governance blends congregational and Presbyterian models like balanced leadership. Healthy church boards and pastoral leadership are vital for spiritual and practical growth. Pastors must manage resources, clarify roles, prevent burnout, and keep vision clear. Overall, the Assemblies of God history, missions, and governance reflect spirit-led growth, advancing God's kingdom.